Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Curtain Call Commentary with Kate and Katie.
Yeah.
Hello, how is everyone doing today? Are we doing well? What is going on? How are you doing, Katie? How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I had a productive day at work and I'm just excited to talk about theater stuff now.
Honestly, the highlight of our day.
Definitely. I've been looking forward to this all day.
So today we are actually going to be stepping away from our normal flow that we've done with Broadway reviews or notices and all that stuff. And we wanted to share our personal theater journey with you all and kind of share where we got our start with theater. We talked about that briefly in the first episode, but I feel like why not? You get to know us, and what better way to talk about it than now? All right. So the first section that we're going to talk about is like about the first spark. So what sparked your interest? And I think that this is always a fun thing that I love talking to people about because I always love hearing what brought them to this wonderful world of theater and what brought them to be inspired, whether they do theater, whether they see shows, whether they anything to do with theater. So, Katie, I'm going to start with you first because I feel like why not? What was your first memory of seeing theater?
So I remember my mom always being obsessed with show tunes growing up, but I think that my first like core memory of the theater was when I went to Girl Scout camp, which my mom now runs the camp, but
Oh,
I was like 7 years old, and I think it was my first year or second year at the camp, which I've now been going to forever. And I was in the theater program, and previously I had been enrolled in ballet, but then when I got up on the stage, I had like the worst stage fright ever. But when I was at this camp, I was in the theater program and I had the opportunity to play Cinderella in our like
oh
little
my gosh.
miniature camp version, which it was funny the way that it worked out because originally I didn't get cast as Cinderella and we were doing like I honestly couldn't even tell you the plot, but we were doing some version where there was like Cinderella's best friend and like she
Slay.
was part of the plot. And that is what I was originally cast as. But then the girl who was cast as Cinderella got sick and left
Oh,
camp early. And since I knew all her lines, I guess
you're like, I'm ready. I'm ready.
yeah,
Here I am.
but like I said, I honestly can't even remember the plot. I think maybe we just did like a couple little dance numbers, but that was when I like really fell in love with it. And then just started doing the local plays and my middle school shows once I was old enough, and the rest is history.
Oh, that's like so fun. I love hearing that and how people get started. It's like it always finds you in like the most unexpected ways. And then you're like, wait, I love this. So I love
Yeah,
hearing that.
definitely.
Y-
I
Yeah.
definitely fell in love with it. I don't think I knew then how obsessed I would become with it one day because it took a long time for me to get here. Definitely fond memory to look back
Yeah.
on.
My first memory of theater is it's always been in my life. My parents, or more my mom, saw Broadway shows all the time when she was younger and really just loved Les Mis and loved all those shows and saw a lot of shows. My favorite thing to do when I was younger was to look through her playbill collection that she had because she saw so many different shows and I was always like, oh my God, you saw that one? But my first professional theater that I saw was, like I said in the first episode, I saw Annie at Madison Square Garden. And that was really cool because I was obsessed with Annie. I loved the movie version with Carol Burnett. I also wasn't very good at anything else. I think that I was not a sports person. Like I tried gymnastics, I tried basketball, I tried soccer, I tried everything and nothing fit, but I always loved singing and loved like dancing. Not great dancing. I'm still not a great dancer, but I remember my mom being like, "Hey, there's this like class that we want you put you in and let's try it." And it's called Time to Shine and it literally changed my life forever. And that's how I got into theater. And I was like, "Wait a second, this is fun." And I have loved theater for a long time and I think being in New York definitely helped it a
Oh
lot.
yeah.
But
I want to look at answer the question that you put in here, shows that shaped
yeah,
your childhood and teen years, because
yeah.
I know I can definitely answer that question. My mom, like I said, was obsessed with musical theater. She was in a production of Annie. Funny that that was your first
Oh my
show that you saw.
gosh.
But that's the one that like sticks out, that my mom like played Annie at one point in a production of Annie. But my whole childhood, I remember her listening to Wicked and Les
Yes,
Miserables and Phantom of the Opera
absolutely.
and just the classics that now I know every word to all of those shows that my mom introduced me to, but I've discovered so many new shows for myself that my mom doesn't even necessarily like some of them. And when my mom told me she didn't like
Hey,
Hadestown, I was like, girl, we're gonna have to have words. But
T.
those are the shows. Wicked and Les Mis like shaped me as a child. I wanted to be Eponine. I can't even describe.
No, and I think I have the same realm with that too. Like I think the shows that really shaped my teen years and childhood years. Obviously, so weird for a 7-year-old to love, but I really loved Legally Blonde. And I thought it was like the coolest thing. I was like, oh my God. And I would listen to it every day. I dressed up as Elle Woods for Halloween. Yes, that is very true. And
That does not surprise me at all.
My Webkins was Bruiser. And I had a Webkins, like a Chihuahua, like Webkins, and I named it Bruiser for a good 6 years, and I carried him my little bag. It was great. But I think the other show that really, I think, stood out to me, and one that is like really popping out to me right now, because it's funny you were talking about Les Mis, because my mom and my dad had the CD of a Les Mis. I think it was like a concert or something. I don't know if it was which one it was, but Colm Wilkinson, who has played Jean Valjean and is phenomenal. He's actually in the movie of Les Mis as the priest, so it's like an homage to him.
Cameo.
It was cool. But I remember playing that CD and putting it in my little CD player that I had, and start to finish, I was Eponine 1000%. Like, there's a line that says, I'm gonna scream, I'm gonna warn them here, and then she screams. When I tell you, I was living that 8 days a week, like 8 times a week, like even two shows, two
Yeah.
shows the room, like afternoon, nighttime, screaming and singing on my own. Just loved it. And same with Grease too. I love Grease. Used to
Oh
watch
yeah.
Grease, You're the One That I Want, that TV show, that reality show. Shout out to Aunt Gina for watching that with me and Uncle
I don't
Tom,
think
because
I've ever watched that show, but
oh
I'm gonna
girl,
have to look it up.
it was great. It was like this reality show of who could be the next Danny and Sandy. I was watching it live. Grease is my baby. I love Grease, and I hope one day that I can play Sandy, but we'll see. We'll see. Time is fleeting. So do you remember like a specific moment? I know you were talking about your Girl Scout group, but like, do you remember a moment in a show that you were doing that made you really be like, wait, this is cool. Like, I really want to do this. Or not really want to do this, but more so like, I want to stick with this or something.
I don't know because I think that my relationship with theater has been a little bit rocky. Of course, I enjoyed it when I was like 7 years old at camp. Middle school theater had tons of drama. So there were times when I wasn't even sure if
T.
I was coming back for
T.
the next year's play. And high school theater, I was trying to get a little bit more involved with sports in high school. I joined the
Okay.
swim team. And the first
Okay.
year that I was on the swim team, I didn't do the play
Okay.
and I regretted it. And I'm like so sad that there's a year that I missed. But then junior and senior year, I did Arsenic and Old Lace and 12 Angry
Slay.
Jurors because we didn't do musicals at my high school.
Oh.
But actually, that's tea. We did a musical my freshman year. The person who had directed our middle school plays came to the high school to direct a show for the first time
Okay.
ever. And
Okay.
she had us doing Xanadu, the musical.
That's Xanadu.
And a lot of us had felt like we were a little bit tired of musicals. And so when we found out that was going on, we were like disappointed, but I still did it. And I would say I enjoyed it. I was Thetis, the goddess of
Ah,
the sea, but it was cute, whatever. But then the rest of my high school experience, they were all just straight plays. But then I fell away from it and I really wasn't like paying much attention to Broadway. My mom used to buy us tickets every year for Christmas to see like whatever show that we thought would be cool. We saw Matilda one year, we saw Billy Elliot one year, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Mind you, this is all at the Kennedy Center, not like
no,
on.
but I love it. I love it.
But that was like for a little while in my life, that was pretty much the only theater that was happening until I transferred to the Mount. And then all of my friends were involved in it, and I wanted to start doing it again, but I still wasn't really like into musicals. I was like, get me on stage, like acting. I'm not
Mhm.
trying to sing my face off. I'm trying to act my face off. But the obsession with musicals is really just with like Broadway now these days, because I
Absolutely.
get so like hyper fixated on certain cast members and
Absolutely.
albums and certain things.
Yeah.
So
And I think that's the best part too. I think that it's always like we've consistently said it always comes back in your life at random time and there's no like particular one moment. But I would say for me, I got to a point where I was kind of like, oh, this is just something I do, like doing the shows. And then I remember the way my theater program worked with Time to Shine was that at least at that time it was like the babies, like preschool, kindergarten or something, to like fifth grade, that's when you'll be in the ensemble aspect of it. And then the sixth graders to about eighth grade, they have more speaking roles. And then as like you go up, it you get more like lead roles, that thing. But our wonderful director, Kathy, who I owe everything to, she would create the shows every year. So it'd be like a story about something, or and then we'd have different songs in there. Like we had one song where I was like working, I was a mother and I had a daughter who really wanted to put a music in our area, but that it really wasn't working. And then I sang Delilah because my daughter's name was Delilah. Like it was just like little things like that. But I remember sixth grade was the year that I played a gatekeeper. I was with the ghosts and stuff, so it was really great. I was protecting the oracles. I'll explain this a whole lot. But it was great. But I remember specifically the one moment where I knew, okay, theater had a really great impact on me was that my sixth grade year of that show. Now, I have always been very anxious. I've been anxious my entire life, but for some reason that day, it was only one day. I had a really big panic attack before when my mom was like bringing us in. Like she brought us in and I had a really big panic attack and I was like crying. You know me, I don't cry. Like I don't. That's not, it takes a lot to make me cry about something.
but you
And I was
freak out a
crying.
little sometimes.
I was freaking out. I was hyperventilating. Like, I don't know. I didn't know what to do. I was like, but it wasn't, I knew the information and I knew the lines. I knew the song. I knew everything. And I didn't really sing in front of people. But then I remember Kathy, and why I owe so much to her is that she took me. She said, okay, held me in her arms. She walked me onto the stage and placed me in a chair that was on the stage. And the second I sat there, it all went away. And it was the weirdest thing to me because she knew at that moment, she goes, nope, she's good. She's like, I got her, mom. Don't worry. I got her. And she sat me down and she literally sat me on the stage. And I was like, okay, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay. I just needed to, kind of like people say, like, touch grass. Like,
Right.
I needed to touch the stage. Like, I
I feel
needed to,
that
like,
sometimes.
physically touch it. But I sat there and it's one of my favorite experiences I did. And I think there I knew no matter how anxious I was, it would go away the second I went on stage. Like the second I did it, I would like have this filter come off. And it was
That's
always
how
my favorite thing.
That's how I feel about when I'm acting in like a straight play. But when I'm acting in a musical, I don't know. I haven't done a musical in a really long time. But I feel like when I'm singing in front of people, sometimes I get a little shaky. Although these days I do a lot of karaoke. So maybe I'm over that.
Yes.
Like, I would love to try an audition for a musical these days and
You
see just
should.
how
You
I
should.
do.
No,
But
you should.
I
I
have
really want to
trouble
get back to that.
finding local theaters that do shows that I'm like really interested in.
Same.
And so I don't want to audition for a show and get my hopes up about something if I'm not like all that interested in it. But if I
Right.
go and I'm like, oh, I'm really interested in this show,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Talking about our performing journey, because we have only been in one show together.
Right.
But I'm curious to know about your performing journey, like favorite roles. You talked about your first role that you ever played was Cinderella, which slay.
I guess so. If you count
Slay.
that.
You really said booked and busy. That's the problem. But if you had to look back at all of your roles that you played, what would you say is your favorite role that you've played and why?
That I say it's a hard question, but there's definitely one at the front of my mind is when I got to play Portia in The Merchant of Venice, senior
Yeah.
year of college.
I gotta say, it was
That
so good. It
was
was so
just
good.
I love Shakespeare, and after that, and I got cast as like that lead basically, because we only did a very short piece of it. It was just the courtroom scene, so I
Yeah.
was the one like running the show basically
Yeah.
there. That gave me the confidence to audition for another Shakespeare play in my hometown, which was Midsummer Night's Dream. And I got cast as a fairy, and I was like
Like,
just so grateful to even have been like given a role. But I was so convinced. I'm telling you, walking into that audition, I thought I was walking out with a lead. And I definitely had a shock when that cast list came out. And what's so funny is that the girl who got cast as Hermia was named Katie. And so when I first glanced at it, I thought it was me,
you were like,
but
okay.
Katie, she was
Oh,
great. Both of the leads were phenomenal. That show was excellently cast. I can't say anything like against the casting of that show because it really was great. I had high hopes for myself and was let down. But I will say Portia was probably my favorite role. I also got to play Teddy in Arsenic and Old Lace, which I think is probably the funniest role I've ever had. And I really just embraced it. I was like, no shame, no embarrassment. I'm with my mustache and my hat on. Like, I was playing the heck out of
you were
that
like,
role.
bully.
So, yes, those two stick out to me, but I definitely need like more experience. Eventually, if I move out of here, I'll find a theater company that does more shows that I
Yeah.
like. So, in all of your years of theater experience, what has been your favorite role that you've ever played?
I've been lucky to play some great roles in college. I never really was cast as leads, and I had chances too, but we're not gonna, that's a whole other wound.
We all have those.
Oh, I was close to a few roles here and there in high school, but I would say my favorite role that if you said, "Hey, we're doing this again, can you do it again?" would be this show called Completely Hollywood. And it was a show that had three people in it. It was me and two other brilliant actors, one of them being my dear friend Ellie. I love Ellie so much. And then another dear actor. And we basically just went through 284 movies in under 2 hours. And it was just the three of us. And I did not leave the stage for 1 second. Like, I remember Dr. Blower, who is a big part of my life, but he was saying, he was like, you are not going to have any time to go off stage at any point. And he said to all of us, they don't want to see you sweat. So, like, backstage, I had our stage manager like put like little like Ben Nye powder on us. So, like, if we looked a little bit, so it wasn't looking like we were running and causing too much trouble. But I
Right.
would say that one because one, it was like the one that I had to memorize a lot for. And it was
Mhm.
also my favorite because it was what I love to do the most, which is physical comedy. If you know me in real life, Katie, you probably can attest to this. I'm very physical with my hand movements and with my face, and I just love making comedy happen. And Carol Burnett is one of my main inspirations. So I felt really close to Carol Burnett in that way. So it was one of my favorite shows. If somebody called me up and said, "Hey, go," I would go and do it in a heartbeat because it was one of my favorites. And it also was originally supposed to be all males. And we came in and we were like, no. And we had two females and a male. So drop the mic. Break the
But I
glass
love it.
ceiling.
I wish I had
uh,
been around at the Mount at that time to see that show because it
yeah.
sounds like it was really good.
Oh
Everybody,
my God, it
once I got
was,
there, was talking about it and was
yeah.
like, oh my gosh, that was the
It was
best.
just so much fun. It was just a way for all of us to just be silly. Like, just be silly and make little comments. And we had little things thrown in there, like current day thing, like Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. I had to say
Right.
that. And that was like right when that movie came out.
Yeah.
And everyone in the audience was like, no. And it was
Too
like the
soon, too soon.
funniest thing. And Dr. Blower suggested it. And he was like, I don't care if they're going to hate it. He's like, just do it. It was one of my favorite experiences. And I definitely realized I'm a comedy person.
All right. So the next question is, what is your most challenging role and why?
Oh, that's a really good one. Um, so I can't say the full title of the show. So I'm going to abbreviate it.
Okay. I know
It
exactly what you're gonna say.
right, right. I would say my most challenging role was Nina in Stupid Effing Bird.
Which you
And yes,
played
that is
brilliantly, by the way.
thanks. That was the first show I think you saw or something. Yeah.
It was the
Um,
first show I saw that you were in. It was not the first show I saw at the Mount. The first one I
yeah,
saw, I don't even
yeah,
remember what it was called. It was some
yeah.
weird thing that some dude dragged me to.
Oh, nice. Anyway, tea, actual tea. I would say Nina. If you don't know it, it's more Chekhov's version of like the seagull. But it's like a modern adaptation. I would say it was really hard for me because of the content area that it was focusing on. Not going too much into it. You can kind of look it up, but there was a lot of heaviness, let's say, in the show, and I had never done a role like that before. I basically had to hyperventilate on stage for a good amount of time, um, and have a breakdown basically, and then walk off like nothing happened.
Yeah.
She Poor Nina went through it. I mean,
You
geez.
really did that.
She really, but she was also in love with her boyfriend's mom's boyfriend, so that was fun. It was also the first thing that I had to like kind of like be in like a seduction scene, and it was very different than who I am.
Right.
So I think she was hard because I don't think I anticipated like the letdown afterwards. Like kind of I wish that I kind of knew a little bit more like how to like kind of talk myself out of that slump after I did the show. Like I would walk off stage after bawling my eyes out about the topic area, walk off stage and hit the nay. But I would say she was because she was just a lot. She was very different than me. Um very like she's a lot braver than I am and bolder than I am. Um but yeah, I would say her because she was definitely one that's a show that I'd be like, I don't know if I really want to do that again. I think I'm
Yeah.
okay. I think I'm good.
Once in a lifetime, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
So, what would you say is the most challenging role that you have had?
Um, I think I would say Portia again. I did have the long monologue that I had to memorize. So that made it pretty difficult.
And it's Shakespeare.
But I
Like
think,
it's
I mean,
yeah.
Shakespeare, I don't really have a problem with, but I
Right.
actually think it being Shakespeare is the thing that made it a bit easier for me to memorize because the iambic pentameter is easier for my brain to break down, I think,
Yeah.
than
Yeah. Yeah.
like if it was a monologue that just went straight on. Also, I think I mentioned in a previous episode that I have a hard time with like sexual content on stage or like acting overly like sexual, especially like in a role where I feel like I didn't get a lot of like coaching or blocking on how to act. And whenever I'm given, like, I need strict instructions. And whenever I'm given a role where it's just like, do your thing with it, sometimes I think I get in
Yeah.
my own way. So when I was
Mhm.
in Midsummer Night's Dream, there was a part where my character was supposed to act like she was under a love potion and was like
Mhm.
in love with Puck. And that was like kind of weird for me. The rest of that experience I like fully
Yeah.
enjoyed, but I think that if I had worked more with the director and with that actor on like that part of the show, I think that we could have worked it out and it would have been
Mhm.
better. But I don't know that
Yeah.
I don't know. When I like look back at the photos, I just like have secondhand embarrassment because I like
Oh,
feel like I acted so awkward. It's
yeah.
not even secondhand
Yeah.
embarrassment, it's firsthand embarrassment because it's me.
Yeah. No, and I felt that way too with Nina. I felt like it was the first time I had to act as like an adult. And it's no disregard to anybody that was doing it. It just more I wish there was more of like maybe an intimacy coordinator on there. Because that stuff was, like it was like, go, do it. And you're
Right.
like, ah,
Yeah, I feel like a show like
yeah.
that definitely benefits from an
Yeah.
intimidator.
The premises that I'm trying to make is like there's when you have something with a role that has a lot of like action that doesn't feel natural to you, I feel like that's what make it challenging. And even what you were saying, like
Yeah.
it when there's not when you're not that person normally, it's hard to kind of get in that mindset of like, I'm gonna be this person and and I want to do this love spell and make it believable. It's very hard to kind of do that. And I think it takes years and years and years of practice to kind of make it seem
Definitely.
natural. And I think that, you know, we did great in both of them, so I think we're good. I think we're good.
We
And
can't be too hard on ourselves.
I saw you in Merchant of Venice, and you were fantastic. So please do not sell yourself
Oh.
short. Like I literally was like, oh, hey. I was like, that's my best friend. So,
That the way to
but yeah.
perform in masks.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, that was fun. Um, I actually never had to do that, so I was lucky, but almost had to do that though. But that's a whole other story for a different day. So now we're going to talk about something that we both love so much, which is the theater fandom itself. Um, because I know we've got our stage door stories, we've got our things. Every time Katie and I, like if Katie goes to a show and she goes to the stage door, she'll always send me like a video or like FaceTime me or like something like that, and I'll do the same for her. Like
Oh yeah.
it's all the time. So, um, if you had to pick like some of your favorite Broadway experiences, what would you say was one like that like you saw the show and from when you got there to when you left, it was 10 out of 10 experience.
Huh. So easy giveaway answer would be Hadestown. I went to see it with Jordan Fisher and Maya Rafiko, and I was blown away. I like knew what I was getting into with that cast. I knew what I was getting into with the show, but I still like that experience from start to finish. I was just euphoric, and I got
Oh
to meet
yeah.
Jordan Fisher at the stage door, and I got to meet a bunch of the people who have been in the show for a long time, like in the chorus, which was super cool. And then when I went to see Cabaret, and I will say, I mentioned last week that I got restless legs in the first act. But when I was at the stage door and watched Reeve Carney go in, and then him and Eva's mother all came out at the same time and walked past me, and I told Eva how amazing she did in the show, and she grabbed my arm and told me thank you,
Oh,
and I just will never forget that moment. That is, I don't know how I can top that. I will try, and I have tried, but I just don't know if I can. How
oh,
about you?
oh. Um, you know, I think I really loved when I saw The Outsiders. I
Hmm.
loved that experience because the energy was like just so good. Um, and the stage door was just phenomenal, and everyone at that time kind of was very respectful of each other and all those things. And I feel like it was just perfect, and the energy was really high, and it was also my first time seeing the show. Like I really didn't know what I was in for, but I was like, oh my God, this show is my new favorite and new obsession. It
Yeah.
has been for the last year and a half, maybe almost 2 years. Um, and like on my Spotify Wrapped, it is Outsiders. Yes, it is. Do I know
In the
every
same way
word?
that mine is Hadestown.
Right. Right. I literally will put Outsiders and everything. I think I say stay gold on a regular basis. Like it's yeah. And what you were saying about the stage door, I would say my top stage door moment that I had to pick was when I saw Beautiful the Carole King musical. I
Mm,
am a huge Jessie Mueller fan and a huge Carole King fan, but Jessie Mueller is like my ride or die. Like I still to this day love her so
yes.
much. I saw her performing in a concert at Carnegie Hall with Seth Rudetsky and all that stuff this past November, and I was like bawling my eyes out. Like that's how much I love her. Just if you see this, like I promise I'm not crazy, but it just I love you. Um, but I was able to, I think I was probably like 15, maybe 14 or 15, and I saw the show, and um I had wanted to see her in the show for a really long time, and I got to meet her, and I the whole stage where everybody was so nice and signing everything, and you know, I will die on the hill of not it's not their obligation to come out the stage door, only if they want
Right.
to. That's my whole premise. I know a lot of people will disagree, but that's my premise, and I will die on that hill. I'm it doesn't come included in your ticket, um but I remember I was sitting there, and Jesse came out and I kind of was like frozen, but I was like, I was kind of like, oh my God, I love you, whatever, all that stuff. And um, she was so sweet. And then we're about to walk away, and I said to my mom, like, oh, mom, like, I feel like I need to say something else. Like, I feel like I need to like say something. And it was like the last two people that were leaving the line. And Jesse probably had a long night, long day, like all that stuff. And I go up and right before she's about to go inside, I go, I am so sorry. Like, I was like, I just wanted to like tell you how much you mean to me, like talking to her. I kid you not, she stood there for like 5 minutes just talking to me and looking me in the eye. I got to sit with Jessie and like talk to her and just get to meet her face to face. And like, she didn't have to do that. Like, she didn't have to
Right.
sit there and talk to me
Oh,
and
that's so
listen to
cool.
me. And like, it was one of the best moments. And my mom has pictures of it, like of her just talking to me. And she literally was the kindest person ever and still is. And
Oh,
when I saw her in Waitress, like she was running into her car and I was like, I'm so sorry, I just want to say hi. Like, and I knew she had to go. And she was like, hi, sweetheart. And she like signed my playbill. And she's like,
oh,
she's one of the sweetest people ever. And I will die on that hill of be kind to others, because you never know like what that might mean to somebody, and things like that.
right.
And that's, I mean, I love her. I love her so much. And I
Yeah.
love Waitress.
Oh,
So this section is going to be rapid fire musical theater memories. I don't want you to think too much about it, Katie. I want you to just answer it. Okay.
okay.
Okay. What is your biggest theater pet peeve?
I think it's when people line up for the stage door without like having seen the show that day.
Oop,
Hot take.
oop, oop. Harry Potter? Oop,
Yeah,
oop.
there was a lot of that happening.
My biggest theater pet peeve would be people on their phones and
Oh yeah,
talking
that's
during a
so
show.
annoying.
When I saw Death of a Salesman, I cannot even tell you how much theater etiquette has gone out the window. So I think that, and also being disrespectful to swings and standbys and saying, "Oh my God, I'm so mad. I want to take it that I didn't see this person. They
Yeah,
were hired to do the job because they can do it." Like,
right.
also the best performances have been from swings and standbys and all those things. So, all right, show you wish you could see for the first time again.
Next to normal. Easy answer.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
okay.
I love that show so much, and honestly, I just wish I could go back and watch the London Great Masterpieces. No,
Yeah. Great
PBS Great
performances.
Performances. Yeah.
I think I would say Wicked. I think
Okay.
because I was like young when I saw
Yeah,
it.
that's a good answer.
Um, and I just like love it so much, and I really want to be in that show, but I can't sing that high. So, all right. So, how'd you feel about that? How do you did you guys feel like you guys got to know us a little bit more? Super
We definitely
fun,
talked
super
a
fun,
lot.
fresh. We thing about us is we're professional yappers. All right. Let it. That's why we have a podcast. We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
So now, okay, you know how last week we were talking about Dreamcast,
Yes.
and that was so hard, but I am so happy I don't have to do it this week because I gave you a show that I'm so excited for you to hear your choices. The show that I asked Katie to Dreamcast was
Waitress. Which was hard, and I felt a lot of pressure because I literally have a pie tattooed on me for this
Sugar
show.
Butter Flower. Sugar Butter Flower.
But I did run this by a couple of my theater fan friends earlier who have approved of my choices. So if you guys don't
Mhm.
like them, take it up with them. Don't put, I mean, you can put it
I
in your
don't know
comments.
about
That'll
this yet.
increase our
I don't,
engagement.
right, right. Like, comment, subscribe, even if you disagree. I haven't heard these yet because I told Katie I don't want to know. So these are my first reactions to this, but I'm sure you picked great ones. So
Okay.
let's hear it.
So starting with Jenna, I would love to see Jessica Vosk play Jenna. Big fan of
Love
Vosk on the
her.
Street. Love her work
Lost in
in
the City.
Wicked. Um, I know that
Lost in the
she
City.
played the role at the Mooney. And I just know that if I was in a room with Jessica Voss, sorry, if I was in a room with Jessica Voss singing She Used to Be Mine, I think my whole body would just turn into goosebumps. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that
I
is my Jenna.
Oh, she's so good. She's
Yes.
so good. Jessica Vosk, do you want to be on our podcast? Come
Yes,
on, girl.
please.
Come on,
Let's
girl. Let's
collab.
tag you. Let's collab.
Let's collab.
Because
Actually, if any of
yes.
these people want to collab.
And please, please
Um,
like, comment, subscribe, DM, please. Thank you so much.
okay, my Dawn. So
Oh,
I actually have two
so good.
people for this. Either Mackenzie Kurtz, because I love her. Mackenzie Kurtz is my like OG hyperfixation girly, and I am just obsessed with her. But as soon as I thought of my other one, I was like, oh my gosh, Megan Colton. I
Okay.
think that maybe that's a shocking choice, except that
Okay.
Megan Colton is so talented. Like she is one of the most talented people I've like ever had the privilege of listening to. And I just would love to see her take on Dawn.
Yeah.
So,
Her
uh,
voice is insane. Her riffs.
um,
Come on.
the Emily Dickinson musical,
Ah,
we can talk about that in a future episode. My Becky, I said Alex Newell. The
shut the
vocals,
front door.
Newell and Jessica Voss together,
Oh,
in my opinion, we
why don't
need
we
it.
have this? Why don't we have
Exactly.
this?
Thank you very much. And those are my
I
choices.
didn't plan it with Alex's vocals. Come on.
I know. I try and think about it, but if I think about it too hard, I'm just gonna be depressed that it doesn't actually exist. Okay, so Dr. Pomander,
Okay.
um, this person I've been obsessed with for years, and I don't think I could ever do a dream cast without him. Ben Platt. A lot of people don't like Ben Platt, but Ben Platt will always have a special place in
I
my
can see
heart.
it. I can see it.
And I think that he would actually be really funny.
Okay.
But if not Ben Platt, my friend told me I have to honorably mention Jordan Fisher, who was also on my list and of course was my Orpheus. So either Ben Platt or Jordan Fisher, and I would be tickled. For Ogie, I put Alex Brightman. I think he would be so
Slay.
funny. He would slay that role.
You just put that in my brain and I can see it. I
Oh yeah,
can see it. Like,
it would be so good. Okay, and then Earl. This one was kind of hard because I feel like Earl is a very like not polarizing character. You're supposed to hate him.
yes.
But I was thinking of somebody who I just would get a kick out of seeing sing You'll Still Be Mine. And I said Nicholas Christopher. He has been
Sweet.
absolutely killing the vocals in Chess, and I don't know why. I just feel like that would be
Okay.
such a good fit.
Okay. I could see it. Yeah.
You have to
That's
like
it.
stay with me, visualize it with me, visualize it with me.
I'm getting there, girl. Don't worry.
And then Joe, I actually said Joel Gray. I like
Period.
associate his voice with this like paternal, like like the Wicked soundtrack. I don't know. I just think that and I think it would bring a lot of like OG Wicked like theater
Yeah.
fans to the show. Um,
Yeah. I love
but
Joel Gray.
yeah, I just think that would be so
Hmm.
sweet. But my like superstar who I have in the cast is my nurse Norma because she has to be like an all-star cameo in my opinion.
Period.
And I have been really on Anna Gasteyer recently.
Oh
How awesome
my
would her
God.
cameo be in that?
I just want her in anything. Like, I just want
Yeah,
her just to be
she's
a
so
random
funny.
patron in the pie, like in the diner. Like, I just want her to be there. And Lulu will be paid by baby Pammy in The Great Gatsby.
There's your new favorite dream casting from for Waitress.
You just blew my mind. Like, why did I never think about that before?
There you go, Kate. So for our last segment, we're gonna go ahead and do our blind rankings. Um, I will say blind ranking in order of how much you want to see that show again.
See the show again. Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
I love it. I
You
love it.
caught me off guard last time when you said shows that you want to be in. So this time we're gonna do shows you want to see again.
I think I like that a little bit better
Okay.
of shows that we want
We
to
can
see
do
again.
different types of rankings each
Cool.
time. It doesn't really
Cool.
matter. But first one that I have for you
Okay.
is Addams Family.
Hmm. I'm gonna put her at 3.
The next show I'll give you is you just saw it, so Death of a Salesman.
That particular production?
Yes, that particular production. Or if you want to see like other versions of it, I'll accept that too.
I'm gonna say a five. I'm
Okay.
gonna say five because I feel like there's something better. Not because the production, like the actors were bad.
I will give you The Great Gatsby.
Okay. Hmm. See it again?
Yes.
I would say two. I
Okay.
would say two. Yeah. Yeah,
All
two.
right. So we've used
Okay.
2, 3, and 5.
Okay.
The next show that you may want to see again,
Yeah.
let's do Beautiful, the Carole King musical.
Hmm. I'm gonna say four
Okay.
because I would love to see it, but nothing will top the experience that I had with that cast.
Okay, so you only have your top spot left. So, oh, how about Mamma Mia?
I would see it again.
That's your number one.
I I listen, I always love ABBA. Mamma Mia, here we go again.
Uh-huh. Oh, I
Um,
would see that again and again and again.
right. Thank you so much. I think that Mamma Mia is just so good. There's certain elements that I would change, but like I think I love that show. Like, come on. The overture to that show,
Yeah. Oh, I love Mamma
love
Mia.
her. Love her. Okay, now my five for you.
Okay.
Okay. The first one that I'm going to do is Hamilton.
Oh, oh gosh, that's so hard because that's definitely one of my favorites. Oh, I'm gonna put it at number 3.
Three. Okay. All right,
Yes.
you're locking that in. You're locking that in as
Yes.
number three. The next one would be Billy Elliot.
Hmm. Oh, that's an interesting one because I saw that when I was a lot younger and nobody's really done it that I've seen in a
Oh,
really long time. So I would be curious, but I'm gonna put it at 4.
okay. So you have three and four. Got you.
Mhm.
Got you. All right. Waitress.
Waitress. I actually have never seen Waitress live. I've only
Oh,
watched pro shots and slime tutorials of it. Um, off the record. But I love Waitress and I literally have it tattooed on my body. So I'm a hypocrite if I'm gonna put it at number 2. So I have my 1 and 5 spot left. So I'm nervous.
perfect. One and five. The next one is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
I'm gonna put it at 5. I'm scared to know what my last one is. Only reason is because I've already seen it twice. I saw it once before they shortened it, and I've seen it once more recently with Tom Felton, and I feel like my Harry Potter and the Cursed Child experience has been fulfilled. But that's a good one.
The next one is Newsies.
So I have to put it at number 1. But I think that if I was gonna go see Newsies again, it has to be with like a star-studded cast. Like when
Correct.
I've seen Newsies twice actually, and once on Broadway and once was on a tour, and it's a great show. I mean, it's so fun. I would love to take someone who has never seen it before,
Oh, I
but
love
I think
Newsies.
that in order for me to actually buy tickets to see it again, we got to get some of the
We gotta get
like
it.
the biggest stars in Broadway. Got to be on that.
That is the end of our episode. Um,
Yeah, thank you guys
it
so
was
much
a
for tuning in
fun
again.
episode. Yeah, thanks for listening and getting to know us and hearing what we have to say. I think that even if you are not someone that performs in theater, but sees theater or respects the arts in any way, you're still welcome in the theater community. And um, if you're respectful of theater and theater etiquette and all that stuff, you're always welcome here. Everyone's always welcome here. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that it's going to be really cool for you guys to hear our thoughts, and I also am curious to hear what you all think as well too, because you might have a theater journey that you have that you want to share it with us. Leave it
Yeah.
comments below, or you can DM us on Instagram at Curtain Call Commentary Pod, and we're happy to respond and find out your more of your stories. So Katie, anything else you want to say?
we will see you guys next week and have a great week. And I'm excited to talk to you guys when we film again.
Yeah. Bye.